Hello everybody, this is burgback coming to you with another Starcraft 2 commentary. Today's matchup we will be showcasing Promise spawning as the red Zerg in the bottom left hand corner of the map, and his opponent ZvZ spawning as the blue Zerg in the upper right hand corner of the map. Of course, this is Shakuris Plateau, and these are two high level Korean players. I don't always have Korean players on my matchups, but you know, I do love watching them. I love seeing their strategy, and you know what? I haven't really showcased, I don't think, a ZvZ in the Korean front. I think I've done European and or American strategies with this, and we get to see what gets to go on in the minds of two high-level Koreans when they're fighting each other in a mirror matchup. So this should be entertaining. You know, I'm not sure. Are we going to see, you know, Zergling versus Zergling, Zergling versus Baneling, or we're going for that, you know, up to roaches? Or are we going to be going past that? We're going to find out here soon enough as we go through this matchup. And of course, as we're looking down here, we do see the spawning pool already coming down for NesTea. He's going for an earlier spawning pool here than his opponent, Promise, and we're going to see how that works out for NesTea, if it's going to take to his advantage, because, you know, you usually see kind of rushes not work out that well for players. I know I don't see that a whole lot coming in when I play Zerg. You know, being able to, you know, if your opponent, and especially at this level of play, if your opponent can hold off, and really great placement here by Promise, putting that spawning pool right down the side, just giving him a little bit of a way through as NesTea starts to come down and scout out the his opponent here. But yeah, again, like I said, really great placement, and if NesTea decides to go through, as you can see him building 6 Zerglings already, decides to go through down and go through with the Zergling rush, this will really be to his advantage. And Promise, of course, not having a queen coming out yet. He is that spawning pool is, of course, just waiting to come through, and these Zerglings are starting to come down through the map, and they're going to beat that Overlord down, as silly as that is. But these Zerglings starting to come down, and he might be able to get a little bit of a view. He has not, Promise has not seen these Zerglings yet, but he will now start seeing them as they start coming out. Queen on the way for Promise, and Promise bringing out 6 Zerglings of his own, and of course that little bit of a batch there, bringing out his drones to block them off, and just being able to stop those Zerglings from doing too much there. We look at the units lost, and it looks like he did lose two drones there, or actually he might have lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, he lost a Zergling and a probe there, or a drone rather. I'm speaking in Protoss terms, and it looks like the Queen's starting to go out and gonna be laying some creep. Maybe, I'm not sure. It's going awfully slow, unless that was a misclick by Promise, and starting to come out here and go up into NesTea's base. But we do have 2 Queens up here in the front, gonna start blocking off, and Promise trying to get his Zergling in on the creep, going a little bit faster, scouting out, seeing what is going on. That's a really great, cheap method there of scouting, being able to get in there. Queen, of course, and those Zerglings starting to clean up. And there we go, bringing the hatch down as well. And this Queen... Wow. Yeah, I think that Queen was part of a misclick, because he was starting to go up here. Actually, she, because it is a Queen. But we are bringing down that hatch now. I think Promise does feel a little bit safer, and Promise just trying to come up here again. But of course, these Queens doing a really great job. I mean, look at them. They're huge. They are blocking the ramp all by themselves, and they are in the hold position right now, so they're not getting past at all if they try to do anything. We have more Zerglings down here for Promise. He is starting to bring down a Baneling nest as well, and his opponent, NesTea, is starting to go down with a Roach Warren. So we are going to have some deferring tactics here. We're going to see if Banelings do come into play here, but, you know, it's not going to be a mirror match to its fullest extent, and we do see Promise coming for a Roach Warren as well. So we are going to be having a little bit more flexibility here on Promise's end as we move on, and the creep just spreading here for NesTea. NesTea just going for a nice little amount of creep, and here we go for the expansion. The surround going on that drone, and that drone going down. Really great job there by Promise, being able to stop that expansion from happening, and of course Promise's expansion is there and able to be fully functional. There's no pressure going on Promise right now, so Promise definitely having a little bit of advantage here, especially on the income, you know, just by... No, I am sorry. He's stuck a little bit of harvesters, but he will be able to get that income going up a little bit more. As we see, we do have these drones starting to come in and mine. That, of course, just started happening. Of course, Promise has been a little bit preoccupied up here trying to make sure this expansion wasn't going to be happening, but now that he knows it's happening, he decides to pull back and see what else he can do here. As we see a little bit more of a battle coming on here between the Zerglings. Zerglings, of course, doing a great job going back and forth. They are, of course, speedlings right now, so they're both going at a nice little high-paced action. As we do see roaches now starting to come out on the field for Promise, being able to get a little bit more defense there. And, of course, we have some banelings in the back just to kind of sit there and look pretty, as we do see some Zerglings coming in here to scout. They do see these expansion are starting to come in here, but these Zerglings starting to chase off the other Zerglings as they go out. And NesTea doing a really good job here of putting all of his units out in a nice little angle, being able to scout out, seeing what's going on. And Zerglings, of course, just kind of going around. These guys have great speed, great early aggression. They're not the strongest things out there. But again, these roaches doing a great job cleaning up those Zerglings from even being able to come in and do any kind of scouting. And NesTea, of course, is going to probably, let's see, does he see that? He does see, yeah, he did see one Zergling there. And the Zerglings just starting to come in and do a little bit of scouting. Oh, they decide to back off. It looks like they decide to go back around and stop what they're doing. And both sides using their overlords to their advantage, being able to scout and see what's going on the map. Of course, it is a little bit fragmented for both sides. But again, Zerglings just kind of going out and scouting around. Are going to take in that tower just to get a little bit more vision on that center, of course, because he is lacking in this area. And we look at the income tab now, and they're getting pretty even. The Harvester count a little higher for Promise right now. Of course, he does see that gas being to his advantage right now by about 100. And again, Zerglings coming up on the creep, and NesTea should see this as he starts going in. Yeah, gets fully surrounded by those roaches. Roaches doing a great job there of being able to stop them. And NesTea could just pull up a little bit and take out these little Zerglings, but of course he's not going to do that yet. We see the Gowran's reconstruction coming out for reconstitution. Sorry, guys. Coming out for these roaches as it looks like Promise definitely taking a little bit more of a lead on the updates here. But of course, we do see them both coming out for the Zerg missile attack. So it looks like they're both going to be committing to the roach attack. We look at the unit counting station. Yes. Promise is a little bit below there with 12, and NesTea up there with 22. But of course, we do have 2 banelings. Of course, that's not a whole lot there that we can really count for right here, but we'll see if Promise can be able to come back from that. And we look at the max units. Both are at the same cap and about the same army size right now. As we now see on the unit counting station that he is catching up a little bit, but NesTea definitely in the lead right now with roaches as we're going in here. And NesTea also building a couple Zerglings, a batch of Zerglings, as he starts moving on. And will he be going for this historical rocks here? I don't know, but NesTea's starting to come down as well. We're going to probably see a nice little battle here as we come down. And we'll just zoom out here, and we'll start seeing what's going on. We'll look at the army size as well. And it looks like, oh, we're pulling back, and I'm sorry. But here we go. It looks like we're going to start going for that battle as we start moving in here, as NesTea starts pulling up into this hatchery. Hatchery, oh, will it be going down? I don't think so. As we look here, we look at the units here, and we look at the units going down rather fast for NesTea. NesTea going down. Oh, we're going a little even here as we look at the units. Just, oh, a nice little line as they go back and forth with their little needles of poison, just going back and forth and back and forth. And I don't think anything's really going to help right here. Right now, they're pretty even on the sides, but it looks like Promise being able to, of course, be up a little bit closer, getting a little bit more of a surround, flanking a little bit, and looks like NesTea might not have a shot here right now, as we do have some Zerglings starting to come up, but we do have roaches, more and more roaches coming up, as more and more are being made on both sides. Of course, more roaches being made on Promise's side, and just being able to block off that ramp, making sure that these Zerglings do not get up, and it looks like NesTea's force is just being taken out just by the sheer amount of forces and length of running that they had to go. Of course, these roaches having to run all the way from the top to the bottom, and these roaches now starting to come up for Promise as he starts to go on the offensive as well. And it looks like we are going to start seeing a little bit more of a battle here, but it looks like Promise backing off because, you know what, we are not going to be able to make that. Let's run out. And we do see the creep starting to spread for both players. NesTea going for the creep tumor method, and Promise going for the overlord method of being able to spread the creep. They just like that overlord going, you know, and spreading that creep down just out of its mouth, or I don't really know how it spreads it out. It doesn't really say how it does. It just says it generates a creep, which is a good question. How do you think these guys generate creep, and where do they generate creep from? And NesTea, of course, seeing this little roach coming up here, and it looks like Promise just kind of backing off, not wanting to do a whole lot, starting to go for this destructible rock, and going for his expansion, of course. And NesTea, of course, going to be able to see this just because of the creep and being able to see what's going on. And he will see these spine crawlers starting to come out now for Promise, and Promise going to go for some defense. And it looks like he kind of just wanted NesTea to know, hey, I'm building some static defense here. You better be really bringing it if you want to come through. And again, setting up some Zerglings just to kind of scout out, see what's going on, go into this expansion, seeing if there's anything building up here. And it looks like NesTea coming down, and will he be going for this expansion himself? Yeah, it does look like he's going to be going for that expansion. He has to keep up with his Zerg counterpart to be able to go that. We do have pathogen glands with some infestors coming out now for Promise, so this should be interesting, of course. You know, pathogen glands, being able to bring out that a little bit extra energy. And going for that fungal growth would be great in a match like this. Just being able to stop all the roaches, all of these roaches here of NesTea's, that would be great for him. As it looks like he starts to come up a little bit. Zergling's getting up and taking control of that one poor little roach. And this hatchery almost ready to come down. And NesTea knows that. He's going to try and do something. And of course, NesTea not going for this expand at all yet. Looks like he's just building up more and more roaches. We look at the unit counting station. We see 44 to 31 in favor of NesTea right now. But we have to remember, we do have 2 infestors on the map as well. And it looks like they're almost at energy. Well, one is already at energy level for the fungal growth. So we'll see how that has to deal with that. And a couple banelings also coming into the mix for Promise, so we will see some explosions. Maybe see some explosions, as it looks like Promise trying to deny a creep here. Actually, you know what? I don't know why he's putting the creep there. It's not like it's actually going to be stopping NesTea from building there. But all in all, really good. We're looking pretty even here. Look at this. Even matchup for both sides. 166 and 164 here. 165 to 163, I'm sorry. And here we go. Here's the matchup that we've been waiting for. As we go into the groups here, we look at the army, and we look at the size, and it looks like we'll start seeing some difference here as that fungal growth has come down. We see the HP on all those units as we see Promise definitely in the lead. Fungal growth again coming down, and we just look at that coming down as fast as possible. Oh my goodness. It looks like Promise really coming back here. And being able to show him what the mass fungal growth is able to do is he has 4 infestors now, able to do what he wants. Of course, none of them have the energy anymore for another fungal growth, but definitely forcing NesTea back into his own base and being able to stop him from advancing into Promise's base. That was a great move using those infestors, and it looks like we do have an infestation pit coming in for NesTea, as well as we have more action just coming down here. Do we have any fungal growth? Yeah, we do. We have another fungal growth coming down. We look at the HP just coming down on that, and the army size just going down for both of them. And you know, I just realized I kept putting that army tab up, but you know what? We had it right here the whole time and right there. I'm sorry, guys. I should be having something else up there. I do apologize. But again, just pushing forward, bringing back and trying. Yeah, we do have some energy here again yet on these infestors. Infestors going to be able to do another fungal growth if they see fit. Yep, there it goes, another fungal growth, and it doesn't look good here for NesTea, as NesTea's army just getting whittled down just by these infestors. The infestors did a great job turning the tide here, and I mean, just look at the difference. 149 to 78 right now in Promise's favor, as we have more units just spewing forward from Promise, and Promise is doing a great job with that fungal growth. Wow. Just wow. I thought that was great. Oh my goodness. Just with these little guys here. Oh my gosh. Great job here by Promise. I hope everybody else agrees. You know, I know there's a lot of NesTea fans out there. I like NesTea as well, but just a great job by Promise being able to counter what NesTea was able to bring to the door and being able to get these guys out in time. That was great. And you know, and And NesTea gonna try and counter that with the same units. You know, what's the counter for the infestor? Infestors. You know. But anyway, you know, if you like this, please make sure and leave a comment down below. Even if you didn't like it, you know, I take all constructive criticism very well. If you did like this, make sure to hit the like button. Please make sure to subscribe. And you know, please make sure to check out my Twitter account and my Facebook account. I like to send updates from myself onto those areas as well, and I'll leave all those down below in the comments section, or in the little description area down below. So again, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you guys next time. Take care.